Hi guys, Lianne here again with another episode of Seduce Me. Okay, so let's go on where we left it off. We just got out of class. So let's load the game. Let's do this. Yeah, we heard Susan say that we were slow because she likes to get out of class fast. Alright.
We heard you the first time. Not everyone has rocket boosters attached to their legs when the bell rings.
Yep.
Are you kidding me? That class was ridiculously boring. Even Miss Valedictorian here was dozing off a bit.
Is she talking about me or Naomi? Ha ha ha, me. I do have to admit I was spacing out. And just because I answered one question doesn't mean I'm automatically the valedictorian. I think Naomi will be that more.
Okay, so it wasn't too interesting. But you should at least pay attention when Phillips is talking about the important parts.
You should. You should, but it's hard sometimes,
so you
you know?
finally admit it. We're finally on the same wavelength. Welcome to the club, Patterson.
Yeah, Patterson. These are friends, right?
Please, don't call me by my last name. This isn't the classroom. And never in a million years will we ever see things eye to eye.
They're friends, right? You can have different opinions as friends, but most of the time you have some things in common. Despite this, they both burst out in laughter. Normally, anybody would think the opposites like them wouldn't ever associate with each other. But even though they were so different, their friendship somehow made a lot of sense. Well, not to me right now, but alright. Maybe they were just perfect complements, or personalities just didn't dictate the possibility of their friendship. After all, we three had been best friends since preschool.
Alright, so where are we heading to first? Cafeteria? I think we can all agree that we're really hungry, especially after hearing about our company's line of deliciously spicy bubblegum.
Yeah, man. I get so hungry when I think of delicious spicy bubblegum. Right.
Who would even buy that? I wonder.
Yeah.
Me? I would pay good money to get a taste of it.
You do like spicy food after all. We entered the cafeteria, a bustling room filled with the aromas of different kind of food. As we got in line, we ordered our meals and chatted freely.
Cajun fries and the spicy chicken burger for me. That's my definition of a good meal.
I'll take a tuna sandwich and some juice. You're probably going to need water or something to curb all that spicy flavor, Suzu.
I can't be tamed by the likes of that. If it's spicy, then it's gotta be all or nothing.
Alright, going.
You're crazy!
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm crazy.
That's so
I
funny.
think I'm getting a migraine.
Oh, that's not good. I'll go with... I can go for the fries and the spicy chicken burger too. Just mac and cheese and a soda. What Naomi's having. She was having a tuna sandwich. I like that. I don't like spicy food that much. I cannot take it. You know, I'm just cannot take it. But I like fries and chicken burger. Mac and cheese. I take what Naomi's having. I love fish. Tuna, I like it on my bread. And she had juice. I like juice. A tuna sandwich sounds pretty good right now anyway. Yeah. Once we got our food, we settled down at one of the empty tables, putting our backpacks aside to finally dig into the food. Suzu leaned back in her chair, tilting it back so that she could rest her feet on the table by her foot. Feet and food. Not a combination, not for me at least.
Alright then, is there anything we want to talk about?
Bored already?
I know, let's talk about...
Say boys and I will never speak to you ever again.
Aw, why not?
Yeah, why not?
What's so interesting about talking about guys? It's not like any of us are gonna get boyfriends anytime soon.
Well, speak for yourself, madam.
We don't know that. What if one of us does get a boyfriend?
Like that's going to happen, Naomi. Look at us. I'm a tiny Italian. You're a ditzy blonde.
Hey!
She didn't like it.
No offense. And Anderson here. Well, I guess she could land a boyfriend or girlfriend if she wants.
Or girlfriend?
She can be a lesbian if she wants.
True.
That's okay, Suzu. I'm not sure I want a boyfriend yet.
Why not? It's our senior year. Might as well get a boyfriend.
Maybe she's just not interested in a relationship, Suzu.
Well, it really wasn't about wanting a relationship, but more of there was no one interesting enough to be in a relationship with. Don't get me wrong, I'm an open person, but there were not many interesting guys in the school to go out with. Who knows? Time will tell. Naomi looked at me, wanting to continue the conversation. However, before she could speak, the speakers in the cafe started up and an announcement echoed through the cafeteria. Read!
Miss Anderson, please come to the main office immediately. Please bring your things with you.
That doesn't sound good. I just got chills. I don't think I ever went to the principal's office. Ever. Main office. Let's
Oh
go.
my.
Yeah.
Looks like our plans have been cut short. The men in white coats have finally come to get you.
Yeah, I think so too.
Suzu, don't joke around. What if it's serious?
What if someone died? Oh no.
Fine. If something happens, just call us.
I will, babe. Funny enough, something did happen. Oh no. And it was certainly no laughing matter. Cold. It was really cold. The rain became heavier that afternoon, accompanied by rolling thunder now and then. The skies had turned black, though I couldn't see any of it under the black umbrella. Not that I was looking up. In fact, looking up was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. I stared at the grass beneath my feet, unable to look at the people weeping around me. All I could see was the damp grass underneath my feet. Only the monotone that floated through my ears reminded me that I was at a funeral. Someone did die! Oh no! It was only when the speeches ended that I finally was able to raise my head. Harold Anderson, forever in our hearts. Is that her grandpa then? A small gathering of people, mostly made of relatives that I didn't even know were related to me, were huddled around a simple, small grave. For a while all I heard was the sound of raindrops on umbrellas, if it weren't raining. As if it weren't raining, everything would be probably Wow, we're gonna do this again, and now I'm gonna do it correctly. If it weren't raining, everything would probably be in a heavy silence. I looked beside me, where my father was standing and holding up a large black umbrella for our small family of 3. His face was emotionless, a strained sigh next to my weeping mother. I wondered what was going through his mind. After all, etched into the smooth grey tombstone before us was his father's name. My grandfather, the one who raised me like his own daughter, had passed away that day. The ceremony was small. Only close family were allowed to come. Slowly though, people began to leave, leaving my father, my mother, and me behind at the grave. A man dressed in a clean black suit under the uniform black umbrella of the funeral attendants walked towards us, introducing himself as grandfather's lawyer. You're not gonna do that at a funeral, are you? I mean, come on. He pulled out a few documents from his suitcase and began to read out loud its contents. That's normally after, right?
And now, I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
Only my parents and I were allowed to be present for my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why.
And to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate. All the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall also be given to my granddaughter.
I get a house? What? I couldn't believe my ears. I had earned the family estate at 18? That was impossible. And yet it was written by my own grandfather's hand.
He passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised?
Oh, you have to be a very nice daddy. I can tell.
Dear.
Yeah. Behave, man.
Well, did he say anything about what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company?
Yeah, because that's important at the funeral. Oh, I'm not liking this man. And he just said 2 sentences.
No. It is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position.
Even to the bitter end he wouldn't give in. Oh, what a stubborn old man.
It's terrible. Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face.
About the estate. Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school.
Are you trying to get rid of me? Man!
Are you sure we should?
Why not? This would be a good experience for her.
Honey, what do you think?
I really wasn't sure what to say. Why did my grandfather think that I was the appropriate heir to the mansion? Was I even ready to live on my own?
Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust.
I'm your daughter! Man, I'm getting angry at this dude.
David!
Yeah, David! Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began walking back to the car. Disinterested. Oh, you must be so much fun to live with. I'm glad we're moving out.
Don't mind him, honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him. Why don't we get back home for now?
Yeah, man. Okay. You can go on ahead to the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
Thanks, Mom. She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I look around the funeral grounds. It was completely empty, save for the sullen-looking grave that was laid in front of me. I'm sure that if Grandpa were in charge of arranging all of this, it would have been much different. I was blatantly oblivious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the same day they passed away? What? I never heard of it. It always takes a couple of days before someone gets buried. What? Everyone knew my grandfather's love for toys, and yet the grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. Man. His disdain for my grandfather was almost pitiful. Well, definitely. Sorry, Grandpa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choked sob. You told me to stay strong. But right now, I'm the farthest from it. Like that one time, a long time ago. Grandpa!
Oh, it's so good to see you again, sweetie.
I find this so sad just because you have to think about your own grandpa. and both of my grandfathers have passed away. Whew, that's tough. I was swept into a giant bear hug, and we both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about seeing my grandfather, the way he greeted me. Unlike my grandfather was loving and playful, even as he grew older. Sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. He said that he wasn't feeling too good again. It had always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpa's house, chiding that he was busy with work or wasn't feeling well.
Is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right?
Yeah. So, what are we going to do today, Grandpa? Mommy says there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we could go.
Oh, I would love to. But I've been so busy with the company these days. We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see?
Yes. Oh, is that a toy?
It is. I was designing a new line of them. But I feel like something's missing. You don't think you could help me out, could you?
Of course. He placed the toy in my hands with a smile, and I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted, and obviously a lot of work was put into it. There was one thing, though.
So, what do you think?
I think the heart on the chest should light up when you hug it. Be like it's alive, and it can be like a little nightlight before you sleep. He stroked my chin, considering my input while nodding his head. After a few moments of silent deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle.
That's a great idea. I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear. You always know what to add to make the perfect toy.
Well, I hope I can be like you one day, Grandpa.
You want to make toys as well?
Well, making people happy is the best feeling in the world. I don't know if I want to make toys when I grow up, though.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
That makes sense. Daddy doesn't think of it the same way, though.
Your father. I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
I'm not so sure about that.
Sweetie, look at me.
He bent down to look me, eye leveled, with a serious look on his face.
As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he is always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him. I don't know why he's like this, though.
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past. But it's nothing that you should be concerned about.
I had heard tidbits of this from my mother and various other people. The only people who had stayed quiet were my father and my grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter, but it was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard, though, trying to pretend as if nothing were wrong.
However, no matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there'll come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But always remember that your family and friends will be here with you. Daddy, Mommy, your friends at school, me. We'll stand together to get through it.
How can you be sure of that?
Because we'll be right here and here.
He pointed his finger to my head first, and then pointed at my chest.
So stay strong, promise?
For a moment he looked almost sad, pleading, but as quickly as it had come, the expression disappeared from his face, and he was all smiles once again. Promise. Upon hearing that, Grandpa let out a great burst of laughter and stood up.
All right then, enough of that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert? I know I can't accompany you at that new cafe, but we sure can talk and eat while I cook and do some paperwork.
Homemade dessert? I'll race you to the kitchen.
Hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
Whew. I don't know. I think I will go on for now. It will be a longer episode, but okay. You willed me the very home I love to see you in. Why? Why would you think I would be ready to take it? Especially after this. A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use in getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer here. I am sorry. It's hard to stay calm where you left me with so many questions. Especially about what happened between you and Dad. What am I doing? Talking to a grave? My vision blurred, and I suddenly realized that I was crying. My face heated up as tears rolled down my cheeks. I'll bring you some flowers later. I'll miss you, Grandpa. I try my best to fulfill my promise I gave to you, even if the world might be turned against me. I left the grave, weeping my tears hastily so my parents wouldn't see.
Well, it's time to head back home. I'll cook up your favorite lasagna when we get home, okay?
Okay, I'm gonna stop the episode here. We left the funeral, so next time we're going on and see what is going on here. We're going home for today at least. Maybe the next day we're going to the estate. So I think it was a very emotional episode for me, just because it brings back so many memories of when my two grandfathers died as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope I will see you in the next episode of Seduce Me. Bye.